Beginning of year ritual, New Year's ritual. So, some tips I just wanted to bring in as we go into the new year. And this really came in strong in the end of year ritual. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I gave you a gift this year and it was for changing your life. And then you say, I want to change my life. And then I'd say to you, but I gave you that gift. What did you do with it this year? What did you do with it? You have that already. So have you not used it? Why did you not use it? So Spirit was really bringing in the end of your ritual for that reason. It was like, okay, Spirit gave us gifts, and then it's about acknowledging what we received before we enter the new year and ask for more gifts. And and this was really powerful. I want to honor all of you in the webinar last night, the last two evenings, that it really was powerful and potent to sit with and to drink and eat the food we received this year and to bless it and to honor it deeply in the system. And also honor we're not alone, the ancestors are with us. So as we step into the ritual for the new year, what I wanted to just to give you some homework, if you're open to it, is just an offering would be to, first of all, see what you want to bring in this year, sit with it, be with it, see where you want to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then just reflect and say, okay, have I received those gifts already in the last year? And then, is this something new in your system, in your life system, in your family system? And if it is, then reflect to your ancestors and let your ancestors know what your intention is for this year and why you want to do this year. And you have to understand, in a way, our ancestors were they're from a different time and space and they don't understand always what is going on in our lives or why we want to do something. And it was interesting. I was talking to somebody, a friend recently, and he was saying that he was the first one in the ancestral line to go to secondary school. And he had to have a talk with the ancestors beforehand to say, why he wants to go to secondary school and what it's about. And it's okay. I understand you didn't go to have this opportunity. And I understand maybe some of you were illiterate. So he had a good talk with the ancestors, and then the ancestors were on board, and there was nothing in the way. So before trying to start some new project, I would recommend really to have a talk with your ancestors and tell them why you're doing it, what you're doing, in your language and in their language and in different words so they can get it and grasp it. Because if you're starting something new, you want to make sure there's nothing in the way of it. Because as we bring birth something new into the system, there usually is something in the way of that. And let's clear the obstacles before we start bringing this in. Let's make it easier this year to create miracles and to create transformation in our lives and to clear any obstacles in our system before we start the system. And this will clear any disturbances that are in the system. So what I would propose to you before we do the webinar would be to really sit with yourself and ask your system, what would you like to create this year? What would you like to change this year? What would you like to bring in this year? And then we can bring it up in the system and clear anything that's been going to disturb you creating that, going to disturb you, or you may be in the way of yourself. So to clear yourself from your destiny level and to create a new impact in the world. So my offering to you would be, first of all, make sure that you've honored the gifts you've received in the last year, and then sit with the new gifts, the new tasks, the new journey you want to be on this year, and then reflect with your ancestral system, your ancestors, and ask your ancestors or tell your ancestors what you're doing, why you want to create this, why you want to jump into the next system. Usually when we're going into another level of consciousness, so we're breaking away from limiting belief systems, which usually came from our ancestors and our life experiences and our neighbors and our friends. So we're diving into new systems. So we're breaking free of limiting belief systems. And it's really wise to First, reflect with yourself what you want to do this year, then reflect and tell your ancestors what you want to do this year, and they can help you. They can help you with creating that, and they can help you to clear any interference which came from them or any interference which may be coming in the future to you too, and they can help you create whatever you want to manifest. But first, get them on your side and be with what is good for you. And then also, what came in very strong was to every time we receive a gift, and this came very strong in yesterday in the webinar, was that every time we break through a new level of consciousness, because we're breaking our old foundation, we're breaking down the old house, then we're creating, every time we find consciousness or receive a gift, we have a new block, a building block, or a new foundation. So it also is important to declare in your system that with these new building blocks, this new house, which is yourself, is going to be different, and declare that you're doing it differently. Declare that you're reinventing yourself. You're reinventing your house. And that declaration itself is very potent before you start the new year. The declaration that I am using my new skills, my new building blocks with the wisdom of the ancestors, the wisdom of my past experiences, to declare this year I'm reinventing myself. I'm rebuilding a new house that has never been here before. I'm declaring it. And that declaration cleans the system and any interference from the system for this new year. So this is what I would invite you to do before we go into the webinar space, to really declare what you want to create this year. And I know a lot of the time we say, okay, we want to create something, and then it turns into something else by the end of the year because our limiting belief systems have expanded, and now I can create something bigger. So also handing it over to spirit, to creator, to know that, yes, I may be creating, or I may think I know what I want to bring this year in, but also then I'm handing it up to the higher self, to God, to creation, because creation knows what the bigger picture is, because I know that I don't know everything, and I know I've got limiting belief systems which I'm breaking through, and I will break through more during the new year. So asking spirit to help you and surrendering to spirit as well. So it's a fine line between surrender and action and manifest and go wild with your dreams. I invite you to dream big, in the system, and then feel it, and sense what it feels like, and visualize what it's like when you're creating that new project and you're living that new project, and everybody else who will be affected by that new project. So when you bring in the higher purpose for a destiny, for something you want to create, then everything is supporting you to create it, because there's people waiting for those results to come in. So before we go into the new year, I invite you to do that few tasks, and it will make a big difference on how you enter the new year. And you will enter the new year fully conscious, fully aware, and in your power as a creator, and declaring that you're creating something brand new. And I'm open for that. I'm open for that, that I'm not going to create the same old version again. I'm creating something new here. And I declare that to the universe and to myself. So have a beautiful, experience of doing that with yourself and creating, and invite that creative part to come up stronger in your system, and that unlimitlessness to come up, because we're connected to a huge intelligence, which we can't even comprehend how big this intelligence is and support is, and we're tapping into that. So I invite you to tap into that and acknowledge it before you start manifesting for the new year. Have a beautiful experience of creating your new year. And maybe I see you at the webinar. Thank you. And thank you everyone who's part of the webinar, gave some amazing feedbacks, and they shared their diamonds in Telegram. I really want to honor each one of you. It was really beautiful the way you shared it, and very empowering for everybody reading it. So I was really inspired by all of you. So I want to say thank you. And thank you for all of the support and the gifts you shared over the year with me and everybody in the group. Thank you.